What's up, Solar Warriors? Today is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. My name is Jarrett McAllister, the virtual Solar Pro, and this is Tuesday Training. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook Live, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your fellow solarpreneurs. I'm alongside my co-host, Mr. Jonathan Bernasso, and Mr. Timmy Neutron, Tom Cotter. What's up, brother? Got the fresh cut, dude, the Euro fade.
Yeah, I got a cut today. I was like, man, I need to bring you back to the States. It was you like burned my ears with fire and everything. It was crazy. But I don't know if this is like the first time that my wife Christy has heard the intro to this Jarrett live. Like she's laying in bed on the other side of the room here. She like perked up when you did the welcome.
That's awesome. Yeah, she probably hears it so much. She's like, is that just a recording they insert at the beginning? No, it is live every single time. Got to bring it. Bring the heat. And then, but yeah, dude, looking fresh cut. That is definitely a Euro fade that you got on. Where are you in the world right now?
We're right next to Westminster Bridge in London.
Oh, wow. Okay. Very cool. Yeah,
so 6 o'clock here. So we're going to dinner after this.
Sweet. Where?
Probably Gilray's Steakhouse.
Maybe. Okay. Delicious. Delicious. Right on, right on. And Mr. Jonathan Bernasso in his Southern California home, where he spends 49% of his time, if you were talking to the IRS. What's up, bro?
49% of my time, yes. Back in Southern California for a week, gonna see some teammates. Gonna go to a Hanwha Q-Cell event tonight and tomorrow night, excuse me, in Anaheim with a few people. If you're around, send me a message. But yeah, excited for today's training and ready to rock and roll.
Very cool, man. Love me some Hanwha Q-Cell. I hope those Qtrons come back in stock here pretty soon. But for those who don't know, the 410s are now 415s. So you probably notice those on your proposals. Those are the newest models that we are offering from Hanwha at the low price of, like, what are they? 41 cents a kilowatt, something like that. It's unbelievable pricing over here at Powur. All right, let's kick this thing off like we do every single week with some success stories. So we want to hear from you. Close the deal, helped a homeowner go solar, as Larry likes to refer to. Did you bring on a new team member, networking? Raise your hand, come off chat. I will call on a couple of you before we get to our amazing training. So don't be shy. Want to hear from you. What do you got? Come on.
I got one for you.
Okay, right on. What do you got, Tom?
We've been gone for a couple of weeks, I don't know, all of October now. But I did a presentation from Nice, France, and closed it when we were in Malta. And that was pretty cool. So, you know, we talk about location freedom a lot, but just being able to sell, you know, not just communicate with the team and, you know, do the traffic directing for people that are looking for different help, but being able to, you know, sell deals from other countries was pretty cool. I didn't even know that he didn't tell me that he had signed the contract. I just told him I'd send him the contract with the follow-up email. So I got the email from Powur when I woke up in the morning that it was working through the scope of work process. And I was like, oh, I guess he signed. That was cool. So then I sent him a text that said, congratulations on going solar again, because he'd already had solar when he lived in Oakland a while back. So it's fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Very fun. Very cool. Love our location independent platform where we can help homeowners no matter where they are or wherever we are. And just get it done. So that is awesome. And I like how you dropped that new little scope of work nugget in there with Powur's new scope of work confirmation process, COGS Plus. Love it all. Very good stuff. All right. Mr. Christopher Collier, fresh from Hulk Hogan's bar in Florida. What's up, bro?
Yeah, we extended Powur Day through last week. Powur World through last week. So it's pretty cool. I think it was on this very platform that my great mentor, Tom Cotter, which we got to praise on stage this year at Power World, was pretty cool. He said, he was talking about the investment opportunity at Power. And he says, I want to encourage you to get on Leadership Council where you get, and I think he said, a bucket full of stock options. And he said that would be very wise. So I did that. I got myself on Leadership Council, and this morning I got a bucket full of stock options. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Very,
Good
very,
job, Chris.
very cool. Christopher Collier, man, stepping it up, a true leader here on the platform. And yeah, when you hit the top ranks in certain categories and you get invited onto Leadership Council, where you are the voice of the field out there, making it happen, because here at Power, they do listen to the field. One of the very few, if any, solar company that really listens and tries to make change. But I believe it's either 250 stock
Correct.
options.
Yep.
Yeah. Which, like $10 an option, or, at that evaluation, it's like $2,500 bonus for making leadership, so that's
one quarter,
incredible.
right?
So
For one
what?
quarter.
For one
3
quarter.
months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're, a Andrea Budd recipient award winner, you're on there for life, which is incredible. Like Mr. Tom Cotter is. So great stuff. Great job, Christopher. Love it, buddy. I got to give a shout out to Benita Shaw. She's tired. She dropped it in the chat, but I got to tell all of you guys, she just flew back to Illinois from Los Angeles late last night, but she has 2 installations. One happened within 2 weeks. A second one happened within 3 weeks. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Cooking with gas right there. You'd love to see it. I mean, those are killer timelines.
Hey,
So-
Benita.
Yeah. So guys, wanted to share this. So one installation done last week, which was originally proposal built in 2023 January, and homeowner wasn't happy. He did not want to go with solar. He says, no, I'm not happy with solar at all. And I heard all that, but then a continuous follow, as they says, fortune in follow-up. So that exactly happened. We signed a contract in mid-August, and now they are done with the installation and done with the inspection, which is super fast.
Awesome.
Great job, Benita.
Thank you, guys. And yeah, 3 more installation happened this week. Not in Chicago, but outside of Chicago, about 2 hours southern side, which is Peoria. 3 of them are installing this week. So yeah, going pretty good.
Incredible. You have definitely stepped it up. Love seeing your name on the leaderboards at Power World, getting recognized, crushing it, 3-week installs. Great job, Benita.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We got one more, and then we're going to go ahead and move on. Mr. Christopher Perez, what's up, brother? Are you in Vegas?
Good morning. Yeah, Vegas here, sir. What's going on, guys? Good morning and good evening, Tom. I know you're in Europe, so yeah, I want to give a shout out to the team here in Vegas. Actually, 19-day installs is our record so far, with Colby West recently as an RSM. So still a record-breaking market here within a 2.5-week timeline here from permitting to install. So pretty good timeline. If you still want to tag an RSM here, you have Chris Mitchell here, Rafael Roberts, Colby West, and a good team of RSMs here that you can work with. We have quick installs here. Our market is still growing, and it's still a good market. We also launched a new campaign in the Carolinas after the storm. I've actually been selling there. We closed 2 this week. One, I want to give a shout out to Tommy Lenick and Jonathan Espinal of Florida also, who's helping me close some deals in Florida and Carolinas right now. So creating a good team and hopefully leveraging the enterprise platform as a sales enterprise right now, and kind of just lead generating and making sure I pass this leads to a lot of tier 3 mentors. So that's pretty much on my end. Thank you. And you guys have go and have a great Tuesday today. Okay.
Love it. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that, man. Las Vegas team getting things done, absolutely crushing it. Yeah, as Jonathan just put in the chat, I believe they are the fastest market to install. For those that don't know, I mean, everybody's like, oh, wow, well, let's all sell in Vegas. Nevada did pass a law, I think it was the first of this year, where you cannot be a 1099 independent contractor. You do need to be a W-2 employee of the company that's doing the work. So Powur strategically picked some of our boss key players. Colby West, one of the OG solar studs in the industry, Christopher Perez. So if you have deals in that area, feel free, tag them, get on the market development meetings. Link was just dropped in the chat. They are absolutely crushing it. Great job, man. Thank you for sharing that. And then we're going to sneak, I was going to say one more, two more. All right, Lane, then David Steele, and then we're out, only because I love you guys. All right, but I'd love to hear the success stories. What do you got, Lane?
All right, I'll mention this one because I thought it was a better than average one. It was like a 14 to 15 kilowatt systems with a roof signed in LA on Saturday. And it was cool that instead of him having to drop, 15, 20 grand of cash to buy a roof, instead he gets to instead of coming out of pocket, he comes into pocket like 30 grand plus, on his tax credit for the whole job, whole thing financed zeroed down. So it was just pretty cool to enable him to make money by getting a roof instead of spending money. So it's a good project.
Very cool. Good stuff. I will have to say, and I'm just going to say this as a disclaimer because this is going on the internet for long term, but according to the federal tax credit, if you read it out, the roof is not part of the solar tax credit. I'm not a tax professional. He needs to speak to his, whatever he does, that is between them. But according to the letter of the law, a roof cannot be part of the 30% federal tax credit. Jonathan, you want to add something to that? You're just smirking over there. Or did
Please
I beat you to it?
consult your CPA. We are not tax professionals. Let's move on.
All right, sounds good. Hey, great job, Lane, getting that one done. And then lastly, one of my favorite podcasters on the water, Mr. David Steele. What's up, bud?
Hey, mine's an easy one. In my always increasing desire to replace myself, I brought on my first lead gen person with AI. I didn't talk to them all the way through sign up.
No way. So you just took like when you were chatting with them, you took what they said and then you put into AI, how should I respond to this? And then you just replied back with AI?
No, my chatbot did it for me.
Your chatbot did it for you. Fucking look at you, dude. I love technology so much. Oh man, that's incredible. Well, David, you know what? We might have to do a training on that because I'm sure a lot of people would be interested to know how to have AI robot chatbots, recruiting lead generators. So cool stuff. Thank you everybody for sharing. We are now going to move on to some words of wisdom from our man, Tom Cotter. Tom?
Thanks, Jared. So I was walking back to our hotel tonight, I walked by a statue of Winston Churchill in Parliament Square. And if you don't know too much about history, he was a British politician, army officer, and writer who was prime minister here in the UK from 1940 to 1945, and then again from 1951 to 1955. One of the things that he said I thought was relevant to this transition time that we're going to in our company pre-IPO, and also this transition time in our industry as we recover from the last 12 to 18 months. He said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. There's a lot of people in our industry that jettisoned the idea of working in solar over the last 12 to 18 months in Powur and just, in our industry working for other people. And I just want to say that leaders understand that, and entrepreneurs understand that success is not final, that failure is not defeat. They believe in continuously pushing forward even when it's challenging. Powur's mission is to become the largest clean energy platform on planet Earth. That's what our mission is. And I want you to think about, what is your mission? And do you have it down in writing? And is it someplace that you look at every day, every morning? So as you work towards your mission, as we work towards our mission, we need to have resilience and adaptability. And everyone that's on a mission has setbacks, but entrepreneurs and leaders remain committed to their vision, and we work until it gets done. You have huge dreams for yourself, your family, this company, this country. This is going to be a super exciting time that we're headed into, everybody. And let's bring as many people as we can as we work towards IPO and as we work towards a very bright future in clean energy and specifically residential solar.
Love it. Thank you, Tom, for sharing that. Those are great words of wisdom. Winston Churchill was kind of a badass. Yeah, if you don't know, check it out, man. But yeah, who doesn't know Winston Churchill? But I love that. I mean, success. Do we ever stop achieving success? Do we ever truly get to the top of the mountain and say, that's it, we're done? I don't think so. And yeah, for sure, we're going to have our bad days. We're going to face defeat, but you got to get back on that horse. Don't let it wreck you. So thank you for sharing that, Tom. All right, Jonathan, what do we got coming up for future events, trainings?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And shameless plug here. I uploaded my speech from Power World, speaking of ups and downs and valleys and peaks and the journey. So if you want to check that out, go to YouTube here, or check out the link in the chat. Okay, cool. So guys, I'm going to run through some quick updates real quick. Pay attention, take some screenshots. And then we're going to get to today's training because our guest is ready to rock and roll and blow our minds here. So very quickly, next week, we got Hanwha Q-Cells training us on our Tuesday team meeting. 10/28, we have our Grand Slam event, Series 2. Last night was one. The 28th is another. Zach Edgardo and Jonathan Budd closing it out. The week after that, on the Tuesday, Enterprise Installer Deck and Pitch with Brady. Then we're going to have a Power Day November 9th. There's going to be some new partners and big announcements coming on November 9th. You do not want to miss that virtual Power Day. We are targeting November 18th for a win-back campaign where we will go back to every power seller, tens of thousands, and reach out to them and get them back and show them all the amazing things that are going on. If you have suggestions, let us know. Read your newsletter. Here is the October 28th event I just mentioned, and November 9th, our virtual Power Day event. Big announcements coming. As you already know, Vegas convention next year, it's going to be September or October. We don't know yet. Who knows if it'll be at the Red Rock Convention or the Durango Casino. We'll see. But it's cheap. You can literally go on right here and get an all-inclusive gala and ticket for cheaper than you will be able to get it later. So my advice is grab your ticket, set your sights to next year's Power World, and grind it out all the way through with me and all the other teammates and leaders. I'm going to be pushing the pedal to the metal all the way to this frickin' event. So I'm excited for that. Power WeFunder, there's lots of perks. I'm not going to cover it again. Go to wefunder.com/power to invest and become a shareholder and get stock purchased at a price you won't be able to get again. I really believe that. There's a brand new document hub signing. If you're signing a TPO, you need to get the HOA waiver. If you're signing an interconnection document and the agreement doesn't match the utility bill holder, you need to get the interconnection agreement signed. It's a brand new portal. It's actually in Knowledge Base, and you can literally go in and get documents signed. So feel free to do this proactively. Let me put the link in the chat. It's in Knowledge Base. And you can literally just type Document Hub to sign documents faster and easier now. This is what most other companies do, so I'm glad that we're doing it as well. If you missed the operations update Monday forum once a month, it's freaking epic. It'll be uploaded to Knowledge Base. So much good information showing us the operation managers, the PM4s, the PM3s, who's overseeing what markets. We're seeing cycle times and MPS improve. a lot of my team is saying, hey, these deals signed in the last month or two is moving a lot quicker. So that was good to see. And then we can see which markets are installing from sale to install quicker than others. And some of it's just the markets and the cities and the permits and the county fire checks and the batteries and all the other things and interconnection before permit submission and so many different variables I don't even begin to pretend to know. But here is the cycle times per market, and we are just getting better and better month to month. There are some supply constraints for the Tesla Powerwall 3 or the backup switch and the meter collar bus in California. So just be mindful, set expectations. I'm letting homeowners know that, hey, there may be a few week delay, but there will be announcements this week from Kristen Dennis, procurement, our new procurement manager, and the game plan. I heard that we were able to secure even more batteries in addition to the ones Powur already secured. So look forward to an update on the Tesla Powerwall 3. But as of now, it is a little bit constrained. Two more things. The Sales Success Lounge by Rachel McDonald. It's on Powur calendar. This is brand new, starting today at 12 to 1 Pacific. You can go on, what is this? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 12 to 1 and come with your sales specific questions or your teammates' sales specific questions. You guys realize how cool this business will run itself for you and your team without you having to be present, and how many tools they give us for our team and our revenue share to be successful without you having to be, running it every single day. This is just another one of those tools, which I love. So make sure to attend that. Let your team know. And lastly, here is the organizational chart shared on the call yesterday. Ethan Miller, our Chief Operating Officer, Chris Bunch, Design, Nick Phillips, Kevin Smoker, Kristen Dennis is she got a new promotion. And then under Kevin Smoker is Daniel DiFiore, who we're going to hear from in just a second. He is a senior director, customer success. He has some escalations under his management, project intake and contract review. Dawn is amazing. Dawn and Dan were both in Power World, Florida. I hope you got to meet those two awesome gentlemen. Bianca is badass. Ray is also badass in O&M, and Greg on the team as well. So today, guys, we're talking about O&M. If you're new to solar, that means operations and maintenance. That means post-PTO, weeks or years down the road, who is taking care of this system? How should a homeowner open a service repair ticket? This is important, right? And it's always been a little bit of a struggle in solar. I've had other companies take 2 to 3 months to repair a solar edge inverter. That's been my average in 10 years. Okay, it's hard. There's a lot of moving parts, shipping, labor, costs involved. And so Dan has taken over recently, and his team with Ray and Greg and others. And we're going to just talk about operations and maintenance, how you can set expectations with homeowners, how we should communicate with Powur, and why Powur is winning. Honestly, guys, we're still in business. SunPower's out of business. Titan's out of business. Those homeowners don't have someone to take care of their systems. And even if Powur takes a few weeks to take care of something, we still are taking care of our clients, responding, live chat, support, Zending tickets, and the timelines have been improving ever since Dan took over. So with that, we'll let Dan show his slide deck and take away the training. Dan, thanks for being here.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I don't know that I'm going to blow anybody away, but here we go. We're going to get started and we'll share some information with everybody. Let me know if y'all can see my screen. I will put this in the slideshow mode.
Looks good.
All right. Just a quick overview. O&M as a service. So Ray and I took this over a few months back, actually probably 8 or so now. But Ray worked for me at SunPower for many years, and our O&M and tech support team was much larger. We were supporting hundreds of thousands of systems versus what we do here from a power perspective. So much larger in scale, and she's just phenomenal. And then you'll see the rest of the team, whether they're tier 2 or tier 3 technical support. And again, we're there to do those things from a customer perspective, whether it's production reviews, service related issues, roof leak, equipment damages, whatever it is that needs to be addressed, the team is going to work to get those things addressed. And that's the team that does it from an O&M perspective. Not a huge team, but they are very good, and we are becoming even more efficient today and every day as we move forward. What is O&M? I think Jonathan hit on right. This is operations and maintenance, or the care of any system from a long-term perspective post power on. And just so that you all know that kind of line of demarcation, it goes to service, which is Ray and team, post power on plus 15 days. So we go power on plus 15 days because there's usually some rework or cleanup that has to happen from the install partner relative to the initial installation. So anything power on plus 15 days can then go to service and be repaired from a service perspective. And most systems are going to come with some type of limited manufacturer's warranty. We're hoping that most people have purchased either Solar Insure back in the day or that they're purchasing Power Care now, so they have that peace of mind going forward that we're going to repair whatever the issue is that arises. The way to get in contact with us, obviously, has changed a little bit over time. Today, we want you to contact us either as a customer through the MyPower app. They can go to chat.power.com, or they can contact us through support@power.com from an email perspective. Any one of those will get us to the right spot. I will tell you the initial inflow, everything flows into customer care. They will do initial triage, and then they will put that ticket with the team that needs to go take care of it. So if a customer was to chat through My Power app today, they would get a customer care agent. That customer care agent's going to ask some questions, right? Determine root cause, try some initial triage, because we have done some very minimal technical support training with the frontline team so that they could potentially answer questions relative to monitoring or is the system working or not. And then if it takes more than that, right, then they're going to open that ticket and send it to operations and maintenance or service, and then Ray and team will take it from there and ensure that they are working through to get that issue resolved as quickly as possible. I would say one thing here I'll point out, and I know everybody's very passionate about their customers and their sales and how it impacts their sales go forward. We are just as passionate about that for you, and we want to get these issues worked as quickly as we can and do the best job we can for you, for your customers, and for future customers that are coming on the platform. It is always best for the customer to contact us directly and not have you guys, one, that's not your job. You shouldn't be in the middle all the time. We want you focused on doing what you do best, which is selling. But it also eliminates any distractions, any potential opportunities for misses or errors if we're dealing directly with the customer versus trying to work for you as a liaison. So we really want you to direct the customers to contact us directly so that we can work directly with them to resolve the issues as quickly as possible. I wanted to share just this slide as an overview, and Jonathan and team, I'll send this deck to you after so that you can review it. I don't think there's anything in here that's really proprietary information, but this is kind of the life cycle that happens from, hey, we're going to understand what the issue is. So issue identification, initial troubleshooting remotely, opening up the tickets, engaging with the OEM partner, original manufacturers to do more remote discovery or troubleshooting. And if we can't do those things from a remote perspective, if we can't do it in that first contact resolution, then we talk about field mobilization, which is creating the work orders. It's getting the install partner notified that they need to go fix the issue. And the one thing that I'll point out here, just so that everybody is aware, for any system, we will always give the original install partner first right of refusal for the repair. So what that means is if a customer was to have a roof leak today, we would reach out to Dan Solar and go, Dan, you installed this. We need you to go fix it. They've got 48 hours to respond. And if they don't, then we're going to reassign that work to somebody else that's going to be able to go do that quickly so that we can address the customer's concern as quickly as possible. And then before the work is actually done, quote from the other guys for X amount of dollars. Are you going to go do this work? And if not, we're going to send them. And then we send them and they go do the work. And then obviously we've got to go back and charge back those people that were the original installer so that we can pay the guys that did the work to ensure the customer's issues were resolved. So truck roll scheduling, all of that stuff is done by the O&M team. When all of that is done, right, report validation, we go through the closeout reports, we ensure that everything was done as it should have been, that everything is resolved. We're closing the loop with the people that did the work to make sure that we've got all the photos and documentation, that they've closed it out on their end, we've closed it out on our end. And then we move into that customer closed loop piece where we're going to the customer, showing them that they're monitoring, right, the system is working, it is producing, everything is reporting as expected. We're going to do the closed loop email. We're going to issue any appeasements that may be necessary based on whatever happened with that particular customer. And then we're going to go in and complete the service work orders, the chargeback from a original IP perspective. And then we're going to go in and we're going to request reimbursement or claims from the OEM or original manufacturers or solar insurer or even Power Care, right? We go and ask for those monies back from a power perspective to offset our costs. And that's kind of the life cycle. And again, I'll share this so that you can go through it in more detail. I wanted to share this. Jonathan hit on it just a few moments ago. It's probably more of an eye chart, so I apologize, but this is one of our weekly dashboards. And a couple of things that I'll point out. First, if you were to look at the most recent month-to-date numbers, so the cases in the backlog right now is about 329 cases. When Ray and I took this over, we averaged about 1,100 cases in the backlog. So we are at a much cleaner and better spot today than we have ever been from what's in the backlog and what we are working on from a consumer perspective. That, as you can see in the items below, our average first time to reply is about an hour. Our average time to solve, and you got to really go back 60 days. So you'll see right now, on average, it takes us about 13 days to solve an issue for any case that's open. Our average time to update the customer is about 3.8 days, and we're updating about 98% of those customers within every 7 days. So again, much better today than we have ever been from an O&M or service perspective. And maybe one other kind of highlight here, you'll see at the bottom of the chart, percent solved within 30 days. We're solving about 83% of every case within 30 days, even the more difficult ones that are roof leak or home damage. And then percent solved within 48 hours is about 31, almost 32%. So all of those say today we're in a much better spot from a service perspective. We're providing better service, better quality service, faster service than we ever have before. And yes, we are winning on the service front to create happiness and to get issues resolved as quickly as we can. Nobody likes when their system isn't working or when their home is damaged or they got a roof leak, but we're trying everything we can to make sure that they have the best experience and that we resolve the issues as quickly as possible. The one thing that I wanted to point out, and there's maybe two other parts, Jonathan and team. First, O&M as a service. We had some pushback with this initially as we launched this several months ago, but I will tell you we're in a really good spot. And as investors, which I hope you all are, and as we continue to invest through WeFunder, this is important. All of the cost savings from a power perspective put cash back into our bottom line. And at the end of the day, just like any service, any other service industry out there, we don't work for free, or we shouldn't. And if we are working for free, we're not making money, we're not going to be in business long. So O&M as a service is that billable part that says, hey, you need a truck roll, we're going to charge you $250 to come out and look at your site. If we find it's covered under warranty, we're going to refund you that $250, and then we'll get reimbursed through the manufacturer. But if it's not, then you've paid us up front and we're not incurring any additional costs. And there are several items that we charge for from an O&M as a billable service. And on average right now, we're somewhere around 16 to 20K a month that we bring in because of this, which isn't a lot, but it's better than losing 16 to 20K a month doing free work for stuff that we should be getting paid for. And overall, outside of the initial launch, we get very, very little negative remarks or customer sentiment from this new O&M as a service. Power on. I wanted to cover this with the team today because I think it's important that y'all know that we do this as well. And I'm not sure if I covered with this the last time I met with the team, but the Power On touch point is done just what it sounds like. It's done at Power On. And once Power On is reached, not only does a closeout packet get generated and sent to the customer, but then it goes to my team, and my team will go in. We take a look at the system. We want to see, is everything functioning? Is it operating as expected? Is it reporting? Is it producing as expected? And once we go in and look at the monitoring and the systems and all of the notes on the account, and we see that everything is or is not working as expected, then we do our Power On touch point outreach from a consumer perspective. You'll see in the bottom right, that's kind of a half of the email example that goes out to the customer, but we send this email out to the customer that says, hey, we looked at your system today. It's reporting as expected. It's producing as expected. And oh, by the way, here's a great set of resources available to you to, one, understand how to log into your monitoring, understand how to read your monitoring, and understand the performance of your system, how to then report any issues if you see them from a consumer perspective to Powur so that we can work on those quickly. It also covers some other key items like, hey, we don't proactively monitor your system. It is your responsibility as a customer to monitor your system. And that things like changes in consumption, changes in weather, changes in time of the year, all of those things impact your system's ability to produce and or produce as expected as an offset. So this Power On touch point has been really kind of crucial for us as we have launched it over 6 to 8 months ago. And you'll see a couple of things I would just want to point out here. Because we go in and look at every system, when it hits Power On, and this is just for last month, we caught 99 monitoring issues before customer could even see that there was an issue, and or that it then generated a service ticket later on down the road. So we caught those monitoring issues and were able to resolve those immediately so that they didn't impact the system's performance and or the customer and create more headaches and costs for Powur down the road. We also identified 24 systems that had issues, right? And we take those issues, when we recognize them, we let the customer know that we've opened a ticket on their behalf and that we'll work it through to fruition. We talk to the PM that's on there and the install partner, and then we go to get those issues resolved, like gateway not connected or inverters not reporting, CT meters installed wrong. All of those things just came up last month. And those are, again, things that we catch early in that Power On process so that we can eliminate customer frustration later down the road. And again, another service ticket or additional cost from a Powur perspective. So I wanted to share that piece with you as well, because I think it's important. The Power On is kind of the first step in the process of going, hey, we're going to look at your system, make sure everything's working properly, and teach you how to log in, read and understand your monitoring, how to report any issues. And if there are any issues, we're going to get them cared for so that we know out of the gate, everything is working as intended for you. And then O&M comes into play much later, right? And we own that system for the next 20 or 30 years, depending upon warranty. And then you can see again some of the statistics relative to how we are performing today from an O&M perspective. So I will pause there.
All right, Dan. Well, first of all, amazing job. The numbers look great. I know I speak for a few of us that the experience, the communication has drastically improved since you've taken it on. So shout out and thank you for your leadership for O&M. I know that, guys, this isn't the sexiest topic. And if you're newer here, you may not have experienced anything yet. Selling 460 jobs, I've had a lot of fun little snags myself. So congrats, you've made it if you've had O&M challenges. But everything you guys are doing looks great. Understanding the Power On and the monitoring that you guys check that proactively is amazing. I think a key point here, guys, is always have the homeowner reach out to Powur. Then Powur will create that service ticket. Powur will know to update the homeowner. You could coach the homeowner, just reply to that ticket or email to ask for an update. That way you're not having to play ping pong and have a bit worse experience.
Yeah, and it may not look that those are the numbers are what they are, right? The data doesn't lie, but at the end of the day, that's not everybody's experience. There's going to be escapes. There's manual processes. These are people doing the work, so there may be escapes. I get frustrated. I'm sure you'll get frustrated. The customer will get frustrated, but we are going to work as hard as we possibly can to ensure they have the best experience and get their issues fixed as timely as we can. And if you have a customer that maybe hasn't been contacted, great. Then you can ask us, reach out on their behalf, but ultimately we want to deal directly with the customer whenever possible.
I know a question that comes up is we're selling more Sonova leases or some TPO products today. If a customer has an issue, do we tell them to reach out to Sonova first, Powur first? What's your advice?
Yeah, they should reach out to Sonova. Sonova, any TPO, they are the contract holder, right? And they have a production really guarantee within their contract. So they should reach out to Sonova, Everbright, whomever, so right at the onset. And then they typically all also have their own service arms, like Omnidian or 365 Pronto that they work with to resolve those issues. They'll do their initial assessment, and we've got a good working relationship with them where if they determine that it might be workmanship versus manufacturer defect, then they'll send the ticket to us, and then we'll have somebody go run on it. But they should always on TPO reach out to their lease provider first, which is again another reason why it'll take some of the burden off from a Powur perspective.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. The warranty reserve, guys, in the vision proposal is to set aside funds to honor the warranties and take care of clients for our basic warranties, including Sonova, because like Dan just said, there are some instances where we need to facilitate a repair even for a Sonova or TPO job. And of course, you want to be adding Powur Care onto the jobs as well. And I'll just say that Powur Care and the warranty reserve sets us up for success, sets Powur's bank account up, makes us more sustainable, and helps everyone during this downturn, guys. So add it, be thankful for it. I'm more than happy to have those fees on my jobs. Commission and cost is not the challenge at Powur. We get paid way more than enough. I think someone had a question. It may have been answered. For the O&M as a service, is the $250 upfront required on every request, or is it just service jobs that don't fall clearly within Powur Care?
Service jobs that don't fall clearly within a warrantable event or Powur Care, yeah. So if we can't determine through remote troubleshooting and diagnostics, then we're going to charge you to come out. And if we determine that it's warrantable or something that's covered, then we would just refund the amount.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the chat, Cox Cable Services does this now. Tesla does this now. A few companies do this now. And, if it's not solar related, then the $250 fee stays.
Yeah.
So I would just communicate that to your customer, right? Instead of reacting and getting upset with them, stay calm and respond accordingly. Give them this customer service. And that'll be the way to go. And Jonathan's saying Sunrun does this as well. And a lot of praise and thanks to you and your team in the chat here as well, Dan, which is great.
No, I appreciate it. Look, we know that, again, nobody likes to have the system that isn't working as expected, but we're going to do everything we can to get it resolved as quickly as we can and have a good experience for what it's worth. Nobody, again, wants roof leaks in their homes or damage to their homes. Those are pretty sensitive subjects, but we're going to do everything we can to get it resolved right and quickly as possible. And again, we're in a much better spot today than we were 8-10 months ago.
Very nice. Yeah, I know I had a SolarEdge inverter have an issue, guys. Client reached out to Powur, SolarEdge jumped in, and SolarEdge had one of their partners, I think Sonova, replaced that sucker within a week, 2 weeks. And like I said, at Sunrun, Solar City, Costco, it took 3 months, guys. This was the fastest SolarEdge replacement I've ever seen in my 10 years. All right. Do we have any more questions? Well, we have Dan DiFiore on the line. And if you want to say thanks in the chat, raise your hand, ask a question, give him some love. Let us know.
I'll take all the love and drinks at the Power World in Vegas.
Solar Bill. Go for it. Unmute Bill.
Hi, Dan. Thanks for the update.
Hey.
Hey, question, just is there at all the 866 power line being monitored for homeowners, or is it only direct through chat now?
Yeah, we are primarily chat and email at this point. We will place outbound calls via our phones, but we do not staff an inbound line for service.
Okay, just so I was clear. I thought that was what I heard a couple of months back. But thanks.
We have an inbound line for day of service issues, but not for anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, guys, well, we need to get back to 1,000 jobs a month. Then we can get a telephone customer service line again. Hey, Dan, someone's asking in the chat, is O&M the same department that would possibly do a solar panel removal, or often called lift and relay, when a homeowner needs to change their roof?
Yeah, we will work with them to do a rip and replace, which is what we call an R&R. So let me answer that in two ways. If Powur is the contractor and it's on our paper, then yes. If it's not on our paper, then no, we don't want to be involved at all. But if it's on our paper, it's our contract, then yes, we will typically refer them to the original installer. And if they are no longer in business or available, we'll give them other folks that they can work with in the area to get the removal and replacement done for their roofing project.
So reach out to support@powur.com to help facilitate the process of getting a quote or estimate from a Powur approved installer. Don't go outside. You might risk warranty issue there. And then you guys will help provide that quote for that homeowner to get that job done.
Absolutely.
I often say 250 to 350 a panel, but every market, every installer, I'm sure, is different.
It does vary, but if you were in that 250 to 350, you're going to be okay.
Sounds good. Good question, Eric. Thank you. And I know, Dan, that you help with the intake department, jobs coming in. I noticed jobs are moving faster, getting an installer assignment and going to site survey quicker. This is only within the last 2-3 weeks that this new processes have been going on. But do you want to give us any high level 1-minute update on the intake side? Because I know Don is on the team.
Yes, so I would say I own the invisible relationship. Invisible creates all the projects for us. And the intake process, to Jonathan's point, looks a lot different today than it did a month ago, right? With First 15 and Cox Plus, as soon as that contract or sale is finalized in OS, everybody gets to work versus needing one little piece to get done and they wait till it gets done and then it moves to the next person and it waits and the next milestone and it waits. So now it hits P0 and everybody starts their work. And it makes it much smoother and much faster for those things to get done. Don and team are working on assignment instantaneously from the time that, again, the contract gets finalized. And we're doing, again, assignment, or we're doing project acknowledgement where applicable. And then from a contract review perspective, if there's something missing, obviously you can see on your dashboards now the items that need to be addressed. Please check those dashboards every day. Please understand, to your point earlier, the document hub. When you click inside the, hey, you're missing this checklist item, when you click in there, it will link you to the documents hub so that you can get the exact document you need to then upload that document. But there should be no second guessing what's holding your project up now. If you don't know, just log into your dashboard, and when you see what's missing, go get it done, because if you don't, it's not going to move and it's not going to hit M1. So it is a pretty transparent process now, and it's a pretty fast process through all of those steps. And us working together, sales and operations, is the only way that we move these things as quickly as we can through the pipeline.
Love it, love it. Great updates all the way around, guys. We have to go sell more to keep his team busier.
Yeah.
So,
I'll take it.
So give some love to Dan and his team in the chat, guys. If you've interacted with Greg or Ray or Don, Bianca, they are all badasses. So Again, Dan here on behalf of the team, we appreciate you. I am gonna go ahead and end this
Okay.
recording. We're gonna hang out for some open office
All right.
hours, but thank you,
Thank
Dan.
y'all. Yeah, y'all have a good one.
Alrighty.
Thanks, Dan.